your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, yeah.
Right? Lakers are rolling right
You
now.
guys, something is going on. There's a happening in town. It's
One of my
really
buddies
good.
who's an actual OKC Thunder fan last night just texted me, you guys are fucking scary.
Yeah. Who the fuck wants to play them in the playoffs?
It's
right now?
crazy.
Like I went to the game last Thursday and it was my first time seeing Luka, and it's just like, it's a completely new thing. It's a new dimension that they've kind of never even really had, at least not since
Joe Prano is here.
Yeah.
Hello, Joe Prano.
Hello. More teams should trade for like top 3 NBA players. If
That
they
is
can.
a good way to do it.
Just trade nothing for a top 3 NBA guy if it's
What do you
possible.
mean? Hold on.
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
Whoa, hey, no. I'm gonna stand up for.
I haven't seen the guy
great-
you traded on their team in the last couple
He's
days.
hurt. He's gonna get there. My oldest daughter, is obsessed with Anthony Davis. He is her favorite player by far because we met him one time at the Halloween picnic thing, and he's from Chicago, and he's a sweetheart and so nice, and introduced her. So when I told her that he got traded, she started like crying. She was really upset. But
Skylar Stone's twins cried, and they're like, if I knew he was leaving, I would have said goodbye to him. And he goes, how would you have done that? He goes, I would have figured something out, Dad. I asked Skylar Stone's twins to sit next to me at a game. I go, so who's They're like 8. I go, so which one of you is your dad's favorite? And he goes, probably me or my brother. You're awesome kids. Ike, oh, you want to hear something hilarious?
Yeah.
I was completely against the trade.
you were?
Yeah.
Why?
I was like, I don't know how to get rid of AD. That's a big, but I kept my mouth shut. I just kept my opinion.
You were one of the few people who
I
knew
think I
it
was one of 3 people.
I mean, it really shows that in 2025 you could still keep a secret. You know what I mean? Not you personally, but like a secret can be kept. Like, there's so many leaks normally. People find out something
Which brings
that big.
us to the moon landing. Ike's been a flat earther for years. All right, so Ike
I just don't
Barinholtz-
understand. Like, a sphere doesn't make sense when you're talking about cosmic geometry.
I can prove the Earth isn't flat. Nobody's ever fallen off of it. You've never laid in bed at night and heard, Dios mío.
I have a YouTube video. Can we bring up this YouTube video I sent you guys? I sent it late last night, and it will disprove what you
I'm
just
easily
said.
swayed. Ike is one of the showrunner co-creators of Running Point, the #1 show on
Boom.
Netflix.
Boom.
Come on.
What
What a great show. I was lucky enough to watch the first episode early, and then at that premiere you guys had at the Egyptian Theater. Was it 3 episodes?
We showed, I think, 2
Phenomenal.
episodes there. And I want to give thanks to the Consulate of Egypt for letting us have the theater that night.
It was a
really
big
nice.
swing.
The country.
What was harder to finagle, Taylor Swift's song or the Egyptian government?
The Taylor Swift song. Once you deal with Taylor, nations are no problem.
Yeah, so they asked Taylor Swift to use a song, and
She was very cool about it.
Wow.
did it cost you guys?
No, they didn't. They didn't rake us over the coals too. I was very excited. My daughters are gonna freak out. They're big Taylor fans. Love Taylor. Love Olivia. Love Sabrina.
And is it a Taylor's version of the song?
Of course.
Okay. Just want to
Only
make
one.
sure.
It's Jay's version.
Jay's version.
It's his favorite version of that song.
Ike, when I typed in your name on the Google search,
What was first, gay, net worth, or feet?
well,
when
you already
you're
know the answer to
autofilling?
that. Gay feet, and
Gay
what are they
feet.
worth? You were the first one, Ike. You were the first one that came up.
No. Surely, no way.
No, Ike,
over
not
Eisenhower?
Eisenhower was not in the top 3.
I will say one thing about Ike Eisenhower.
Great
He was
golfer.
a great golfer, amazing general, kind of won us World War II and really built the infrastructure of America. I don't remember hearing about #1 show on Netflix that he wrote.
No.
Never heard about that one.
He was
A couple History Channel hits, but
He actually did a couple failed pilots for MySpace. Also, Dwight Eisenhower pulled the old switcheroo when Truman was. I love politics, like you love
Yes,
politics,
yeah.
but now I'm actually kind of on the outside, just enjoying the show and the absolute laugh that is a 2-party system because
Yeah.
both parties are just complete.
Yeah.
Like, how could you be with one group if the other group's always wrong? That's not logically possible.
But don't you think not to get too philosophical, don't you think inevitably humanity boils down to A or B? Don't you think we kind of live in a
binary
system?
No, I do not.
With obviously allowing gray
'Cause
areas
I tied
and
it
different
immediately
things.
to my like spirituality, and like the reason the preachers I love have left the church is because of the binary right, wrong, salvation, redemption,
Sure.
damnation, salvation. It's like, but I'm always seeking, and more will be revealed. There's always a wrinkle, a thing.
First of
gray.
all, the follow-up to this podcast will be called More Will Be Revealed. I just want to
Am
throw
I
that out
sure?
there. And I just said it, so that you guys were recording
How
that.
have I not thought of
because
that
I
ever?
own that shit now. And I will sue you.
Not yet. You don't.
I feel like I feel like when you reduce things down to like their base level politically, you're gonna we've had other parties over the years. We had the
Moose?
we had the Bull Moose, we had
Whigs?
the Populists, we had the Whigs, we had the Democratic Republicans, we had the Know Nothings, we had the Progressives, we had
Rent is too damn high party.
we had the rent is too damn high. I think we could all get behind that one. That's a pretty good one. But we've had all these parties, and they end up inevitably just kind of folding into A or B. So I don't know how we get around
I
it.
think the folding into a two-party system is because you can finance A or B.
That's what it
It's
is.
always about the money.
It's always about the fucking money.
So you can run as an independent, but you're not going to get funding if you get the backing of a Democratic or Republican bigwig.
Very true. And I think trust me, I think the brands are dog shit. Both of them are
Horrible.
completely horrible right now. You know, I'm a more of a lefty kind of guy, but I think the Democrats are dog shit these days. So I do
They keep
agree.
losing to Donald Trump, so hard to say they're not dog shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's like to me, it's just like someone's going to emerge, and I don't think they're going to be like, I have a D in front of my name. You know what I mean? I think they're going to emerge as some kind of outsider
The Rock.
candidate. The Rock. I think Bill Burr.
No.
You don't think Bill Burr?
You know what, dude? For what? Like, I give a shit? Yeah? I guess we can all agree, Bill, that sunsets are great. Are they? Sunsets? I got to look up at the fucking sky. Some stupid half circle made of colors. Like, I give a shit. I got a stiff neck, then it's dark out.
Oh, my God.
Well, Bill, we all love puppies. Do we? Really? Stupid puppy. I got to train it. Take it out for a fucking walk. Like, I give a shit.
Pissing and shitting everywhere?
Yeah.
All over my fucking house?
Yeah, real great. Got to put it in a crate. Got to go buy a crate. I'm $400 in. Slipped in dog piss in my kitchen.
But I mean, I'm laughing, man. I feel
What
like
about
this
world
would-
peace, Bill? Is that so great?
Is it great?
Bunch of pansies sitting on top of a pile of missiles, doing nothing, singing Kumbaya like I give a shit.
I'm voting for him. If it's you, especially if it's you doing this bit.
I'm going to start a new party. I've thought about this because I have political ambitions.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the block party
Oh, that's really good.
because everybody loves a block party.
Everyone loves a block party.
Close off that street, get day
Dude,
drunk.
oh yeah, get some of your loud Italian friends there. You know,
You make a
yeah.
jump for your bikes in the backyard using an old picnic bench.
A lot of guys in white tank tops.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
How about
yeah.
sausage and peppers? You already ate.
Yeah.
So what? You already ate, haven't I?
And make it Zeppeli over here.
Zeppeli. So can you name the Ike Barinholtz was 1? Can you name 2 and 3?
Ike Turner.
That
Got
was
to be
2?
up there. It's 2.
That was 2.
3, maybe.
I don't think you'll get this.
Ike
anymore.
Davis, New York Mets first baseman.
Others.
Let's go.
Was it really?
Oh my God.
Wow.
You know me. Missing Mets
That's
over here.
very, very impressive. I was gonna say Ike Austin, former
see
city
it?
center from Miami Heat.
Did you see? I didn't give him 5. I made him 5 me twice.
That's really. That's
I
a
didn't
real
want
power
to
play.
hit my mic, so I'm like, yeah, do it again.
That's a real power play, man.
So you grew up in Chicago.
Yeah.
Walk me through how you grow up, because I'm curious about the perennial question of nature versus nurture. Like,
Yeah.
I can say that my environment helped me be sober. Wow. Helped me be funny.
Yeah.
But then when I'm on stage, and you're probably aware of this doing improv, there's moments I say things on stage that were never in my head.
Yeah.
They come from somewhere outside
Yes.
of me, in me but out of me, and and it's perfect. It's fucking perfect, and it's spooky. I never thought of it. It just goes, bleh.
Yeah.
And that's something that's not how I grew up. That's something other.
That's an external thing that's kind of osmosified into your brain.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in a very funny house.
Yeah.
Like, my parents are funny, and they were like big comedy fans. So like we watched more than anything. SNL was a huge thing in our house. Huge thing. SCTV was a very huge thing. Trading Places, Vacation, like Stripes. These are very Woody Allen movies. Very, very big comedy forward house. And I just think like that time was like a very blessed time to be around, like the 80s. You know what I mean? Like we're very lucky to grow up in that time where it was.
You show boobs in movies.
Oh my God. And Bush sometimes if you were lucky. I remember I went to my friend's, it was like 4th grade birthday party.
Did I say block party? I meant Bush party.
No one shaves for 1 year, and then you have a big party. My friend in 4th grade, she had like a party at her house, and they showed Revenge of the Nerds, and it was the first time I saw Bush. And
We've got Bush.
We've got Bush. We've got Bush. That's my impression of Curtis Armstrong. You do Bill Burr. I do Curtis Armstrong.
Is that so great? Revenge of the Nerds. Really?
Really great. A lot of assaults in that movie, but it was just a very safe time, and I think it was a very nurturing time to kind of develop a comedic baseline. I would say. So
do you think that thing in you, that funny thing? Because I'm realizing, and I'm discovering this at 54 years old, like just sort of scratching the surface. I feel like whatever that thing is, I think it predates my environment.
I think it's inside
and I think
you.
the environment sort of, and I had a very different environment from you, but.
So you're saying it's something like internal, like epigenetic, like it's like your great grandfather had like a funny thing, and that's like inside you.
No one in my family. Like I come from a long line of like
not funny people,
like guys that were going to run for Congress and band leaders, and so there's a little show busy in there.
Okay, but no comedy. But you had funny relatives. Like was no. You were
when they drank enough.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Not really. Like my mom was kind of silly, but I don't know. Like I always felt like I had to explain jokes to people.
Maybe it goes deeper. Maybe it goes back generations to the old country. Maybe there's like a guy in County Cork? Are you Irish?
Of course.
Yeah.
Look at me.
So some guy like in like Limerick in like 1822 did like great impressions.
There once was a man from here. You won Celebrity Jeopardy.
What is?
And you also won with this. Then you also win. Then you also won Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yes.
So when you win the first one, it's like, oh, good for him. Then you win the second one.
Second one, yeah.
And you're like, he's kind of just showing off now.
Yeah. Hey, can we hear this? I actually have to be on Wheel of Fortune. No, I love trivia. That's like my favorite thing. I love playing Trivial Pursuit as a kid. I watched
You're an
Jeopardy.
actual smart guy. Like usually Celebrity Jeopardy, they dumb it down.
They do. They dumb it down a little bit.
You and Utkarsh was smart.
Utkarsh is smart. Patton, I played against Patton. Patton's a
Katie Nolan, that was a joke.
Katie Nolan, she won though.
All right.
Why have you not been on Celebrity Jeopardy?
That's where I'm going
you will
with this,
fucking clean up. First of all, comedians always end up like winning, I think.
So Joe's got some random Celebrity Jeopardy questions. So this is how we'll buzz in. We'll say our names like they do in radio.
Yep. On the Stern Show, got it.
You keep drinking so I can beat you to the name.
A little bit of rum. A little morning rum.
This is Jeopardy. Oh! This episode of Jeopardy brought to you by jmohr.com. jmohr.com, the internet's premier source for your Mohr stand-up dates. Go to jmohr.com, follow the links, and go see Jay do stand-up in your town.
Go see me at the San Francisco Punchline, March 21st and 22nd. All right,
that's
Joe,
right.
Get to the question.
All right. I'm going to give you the topic. First one, the Caribbean. Iquitos Point at the southwestern tip of Trinidad is only about 7 miles from this country on the South American mainland. Ike.
What is Tobago?
That's his answer. Is he right or wrong?
Incorrect.
All right, so he's minus 200. I'm gonna pass.
As I answered, I was like,
So I'm already winning by not answering.
That's
It's like
kind of the
poker.
key. When you go on Jeopardy, the most important thing is don't answer unless you're 100% sure.
Yeah,
and I
had no idea.
So there we
What's
go.
the answer?
What is Venezuela?
Okay.
Fernando?
R.I.P.
Films of the 1930s. He played the tramp who befriends millionaire. What's that? Jay.
Who was Charlie Chaplin?
Correct.
Plus 200.
Do you have to wait for the question to be over in Jeopardy?
I mean, you have to. So, but I didn't. So I think we're just going for speed now.
Okay.
I didn't wait for it on mine. He didn't wait.
You
for
say
it
my name, I'll say your name. No, don't.
The Grammys. In 2012, she took home a Grammy for Rolling in the Deep.
Like, it was Adele.
Correct.
All right, you're at 0 now.
Boom.
The Civil War. His charge was the Confederacy.
Oh, you son of a...
Who is George Pickett?
Correct.
Hold on. +2.
Food
Did you hear
rhyme
that?
time.
Did you guys just hear that?
What was it?
Just thousands of people turning the podcast off.
I love this. Food rhyme time.
Yes.
Food rhyme time. An overeater of sheep meat.
Ike, what is a mutton glutton?
Correct.
Oh, that category. That's like crossword clues with question marks in them.
Yeah,
I
those
hate
are
that
bad.
shit.
I'm bad at crosswords.
By the way, I took the Jeopardy Anytime quiz online, and these are actual Jeopardy
These are actually
questions.
cool.
So,
All right, you're up 200. You're up on me by 200 bills.
That's how it works.
sci-fi authors.
Oh my god.
The author of I, Robot.
Ike.
Ike.
Who is Asimov?
Correct. Rivers. This river is the largest tributary of the Columbia, which it joins near Pasco, Washington.
Jay,
Jay,
what is the Green River?
incorrect.
I don't think so.
I think it's Colorado, but I'm not going to say it.
He's not going to say it. He didn't say it.
What is the Snake River?
He's minus 200. 600 to 0.
Elements.
Oh god. What is this fucking I gotta have a super giant head on Star Trek to get these right?
You wanted me to find celebrity Jeopardy questions, apparently.
Yeah.
Alphabetically, it's the first of the noble gases.
Jay. What is aluminum?
Incorrect.
Great. Is aluminum not even a gas?
I don't know if it's a noble gas.
It's an element.
I don't know.
What is argon?
Argon.
Oh yeah.
Scandinavia.
Oh, this is...
This world capital hosted the Olympics in 1912. Jay.
What is Oslo?
Incorrect.
Oh my god!
Can you finish the question?
No.
This world capital hosted the Olympics in 1912.
Oh. Should've waited.
What did you say? I think it's
Oslo.
Stockholm, but I'm not going to say it.
Say it.
What is Stockholm?
Correct.
All right, Ike wins. We're good. Let's get back to the interview. That was pretty hard.
Oh, I love it. I love trivia.
What was your job at the Chicago Transit Authority?
I worked in a department called quality management, and it was basically like it was like we would go out on the trains and the buses and like replace maps. You know, fare cards. Like when you use your we were the prototype. We would test the prototype on people. So I would like persuade like AM commuters to try to use this new technology. And one morning, it was a cold morning, and I saw a guy in line. I go, hey, do you want to be one of the first people to try using the card? And he was already annoyed. He goes, oh, fine. And I go, no problem. I go, you can use a single, a 5, a 10, a 20. He goes, all I have is a 20. I go, no problem. Put your 20 in there and then hit card, and your card comes out. Card doesn't come out. And I'm like, let's try it again. And he goes, what's going on, man? And I try to hit it like 5 or 6 times. And I finally say to him, I go, hey, man, I'm really sorry, but the machine seems to be frozen. And he goes, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I go, if you take this card to the headquarters at your lunch break, we can give you your $20 back. He looked at me at like 7 a.m. and goes, go fuck yourself, and walked away. So I did stuff like that.
You're perfect for politics.
I really am.
Just broken promises left and right.
Broken promises and annoying people.
Was busboy your first job?
Busboy was when I moved to Los Angeles, and I worked at Morton's on La Cienega, and I was a busboy there.
I like being a busboy.
It's tough.
I like being a waiter a lot.
Waiter, I loved.
Great gig,
and
like I could do it for a living. I'd be all right.
100%. If I was a lifer waiter, like I had friends who were lifer waiters there, and I'm good at. It's all about reading the table. Like, are these people who it's just a couple in the middle of a fight and they want you to fuck off? Is this someone who's trying to impress his dad? You know what I mean? Like just reading the room. It's like comedy.
I put the check down. It's about turning the tables over at lunchtime.
Yes, that is true.
So I put the check down as I'm taking the order. I go, oh, you guys can take care of this whenever you want. You ready to order? And they're like, wait a minute.
Were you like one of those sassy waiters? It's like, okay, what do you want?
Yeah. Hey, babe. Yeah. So there was a diner across from my New York apartment on 43rd Street called the Market Diner. It's pretty much where like limo drivers and cabbies went. Sure. And I go in there one morning and I'm just sitting there at my booth, have my coffee, my toast or whatever. And there is a 400-pound man on the stool, like at the counter. Like his left ass is on the other stool, and the right piece of his ass is on the, like he's taking up 3 stools. He is a mountain man.
Big boy.
Yeah. And I'm just staring at this the greatness, the sheer
Impressive.
volume, just like, wow. And the waitress comes over and goes, how was your lobster? And he says, awful. This fat fuck went to a Midtown diner and ordered lobster.
I complained about
It
it.
was like, there was nothing on his plate. Awful.
He ate the shells. It was crunchier than I expected.
Oh my God. Last time, I like crab better than lobster.
If
I'm
you
in the
get like a
minority.
nice king crab, like Alaskan, that's wild.
People
that's
always
like,
drown lobster in butter. I'm like, well, that's not eating lobster. That's eating
I
butter.
eat butter. Yeah. Nice king crabs. They're much more expensive too than a lobster. They're wild.
At the SNL 50, it was so cold. Like being in LA, you go, it's like 20 in the low 20s. And we walked back from the concert, Jeannie and I.
Sure.
We were like literally 2 blocks from it,
Sure.
at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Sure.
They were great. And we stop at the bodega to get like snacks.
Yeah.
She broke in the cold. Like,
she's not used to that.
And I've never seen this type, not a single complaint, but we walked into the bodega and she just walked up and down the aisles looking. It was like somebody that was on acid and could not compute colors and shapes. And I had to pull her away from that open like buffet of hot food.
Oh yeah, the Chinese buffet.
I had to pull her away from the crab legs.
no, you can't do that. No.
It's 1 a.m.
Yeah. Also, Jeannie, there was like a cat sitting on those like 10 minutes ago.
Right? There's always a cat. But she kept going. She's got the empty thing.
Oh, she got the
And she just kept reaching for crab. And I go, no. And she went back again. And then she just stared at like cookies for a minute. Like she just broke. She just couldn't talk. No space. She bumped
Cold
in.
being in a warm bodega when you're hungry. It's a lot of emotions. It's so good. It's so good.
I'd forgotten how constant the hustle is in New York. The like shady, like guys just holding iPhones every 40
everywhere.
feet.
Yeah.
And like with an indistinct West African, like,
Yeah.
You're not
You
sure-
can get like DVDs of movies that haven't come out yet. You know?
like, wait, we're in this.
Yeah, where'd you see that? This Nigerian guy's blanket on Canal Street. That's where I found it.
Wait, Ike and me are in this movie. And it's not even out yet.
We haven't made it.
We haven't made it.
Who was the best person at the concert? Who was the person that blew you away the most?
Put a pin in that real quick. What was I just going to tell you about something? We'll come back to it, I guess. We're at the airport at JFK. We're at JFK at baggage claim right when we land in New York. It's like mid-afternoon, and this guy comes up and goes, "You want an Uber?" And I go, "No." And he circles back around, and he goes, "You want an Uber?" I go, "Bro, get the fuck away from me."
Yeah.
Jeannie, for like the next half hour, why were you so mean to that guy? She had no concept of like an absolute hustle. Like this guy's
it's a
going to sell our organs.
Yeah. You're gonna end up in like Long Island City,
And
just on a slab.
I'm not being some crazy, like I grew up, like I lived in a city for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like if you come back the second time, you see the blonde,
Fuck
you're
off.
like,
Yeah.
you need an Uber? Like you guys, I go, bro, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
And he got the fuck away from me.
It's impressive though.
But like literally we're in the Midtown Tunnel. She goes, "You were so mean to that guy." It was almost like second guessing a marriage. Like, is this who he really is?
He seemed like a nice man, even though he was wearing sunglasses and had some blood under his nails.
The coolest part of the concert, the most surprising thing was Bad Bunny doing like flamenco really knocked me out.
Oh, wow.
Because I love like salsa. I love that shit.
Sure.
And I thought of him as like this like pop whatever.
Right.
And they come out like bom bom hermoso cariño.
He's got it. Wow. Yeah.
And I was like, come on.
Damn.
And I was on my feet dancing.
Beautiful.
But the Nirvana reunion was mind-blowing, and it was there was an hour and 10 minutes of concert after Nirvana reunited. Dude. Like, why am I sitting through Robin? 2 songs?
I fuck with Robin, though. I do fuck with Robin.
2 songs? Brandy Carlisle gets 1 song. Robin gets 2. Vetter, when he went into corduroy off of
great.
Vitology, I jumped out of my seat. And I was like the only one. I'm like, yeah!
When I was wooing my now wife, I brought her to SNL because Pearl Jam was a musical guest that night. That's when a bunch of my friends were on the show, and it worked.
Yeah. Do you guys have kids?
I have 3 kids.
So you
So
guys-
we've had sex 3 times, baby.
You guys do it. You know exactly where I was. You can't get past this guy. So that was my favorite part of the concert. My real favorite part of the concert was people I haven't seen since 1993.
Yeah, who were your? First of all, I just have to tell you, you really did write the greatest SNL book. I remember when your book came out. I'm pretty sure I was on Mad TV at the time, and it was just. I think I read it like in like a day and a half. It was just so fun and
40 pages.
I'm almost done with it, but it was just a great book. So
Thanks,
who were you excited to see? Like who were your guys?
I really just wanted to see Tracy Morgan, but he wasn't on the show with me. He was after
you guys
me.
knew each
And
other,
then it was the people you didn't expect to see.
Sure.
Like when I saw Jim Brewer, the guy, I was most excited to see the guys I did stand up with early in the Village.
Before SNL.
Way before.
Wow.
Who got on SNL, like Dean Edwards.
Sure.
Finesse.
Oh, I love Finesse.
Jim Brewer. Like that was, because it's like, what happened to us?
It's crazy.
Like we're at this thing. We started just desperate. Like just wearing wife beaters on stage.
Right.
And just stealing your roommate's quarters for a falafel because it was $1.25. If I can get 5 quarters out of that guy's 5-gallon water jug
Without him knowing,
I can eat.
I can get crab legs at the bodega.
I can get crab
And
legs.
now there's like presidents in the room you're in and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was in the same room as Paul McCartney and Keith Richards.
Come on.
And I didn't realize, they just said, oh, Keith Richards. And he stood up and he was, a free throw away from me. I was like, oh my God.
That's a big one for me if I saw him.
Seeing Rob Riggle was great.
Love him.
None of like the big stars was I tripping on. It was just more the people that I came up with.
Riggle's low key one of the funniest guys in the world.
He's phenomenal.
Like I don't know if you've ever seen him do improv, but there's a show out here called Dinosaur Improv, and it's all the old UCB guys from New York back in like the 2000s, and he does it, and he's so goddamn funny, man. Jesus.
Lieutenant Colonel Rob Riggle.
Lieutenant Colonel.
He got pinned while he was on my sitcom playing my brother on Gary Unmarried. And these 3 like Marine guys are there in the studio, and I'm going, I go, it's amazing. There's lieutenant colonels out there. They're in like Baghdad and Saddam's palace taking a dump in a bucket. And you got the pin and you're on a sitcom making $50,000 a week. How's that go over? He goes, I don't know, man. But he's in on it.
Yeah,
he's totally in on it.
For sure. He's a real man.
I passed. So I go to take a leak during the live show. I'm going down the hallway. I'm not really sure where it is because it's the 9th floor. I didn't spend a lot of time on
at
the
Radio
9th floor.
City?
Yeah.
Or
no,
Rockefeller
30
Center.
Rock.
30 Rock, yeah.
And Zach Galifianakis is coming from that direction. And I go, Zachy, is the bathroom down here? And he goes, yeah, Keith Richards is in there. He just like giggles. Yeah, Keith Richards is in there. So I'm like, I hurry up my walk.
Yeah.
But I was too late. I saw it, but Keith passed me, and I was just like, "That's fucking Keith Richards."
That is, and it's also. I'm glad like you didn't go in and like hurt him on the toilet. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear like one of my like idols like dealing with stomach issues. I don't need that.
Or heard him on the toilet.
Yeah.
I think I meant heard like herding a cattle. Like
That
right this
too.
way, right this way.
Come here, Keith.
I thought you said hurt him, like either you're going to go in and
I thought-
punch Keith
that's what I
Richards
heard
on his
first.
toilet.
Imagine if you got
I
into
thought
a
I heard
fist fight
3
with
different
Keith
variations
Richards.
instead of the oral sensation of hearing. A-U-R-A-L.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't believe how bad I did at Jeopardy.
No, you did good. You were beating me there for a minute.
You got some Mark Wahlberg impression for me?
Thank you so much. You know, right now, my new movie, I'm bald. I don't know if you've seen my new movie where I play a bald guy. He really is in a movie right now
You
on
do
Netflix.
look a little like Mark Wahlberg. You
Yeah,
have
well,
that,
I look like
1/8 Asian.
Well, I definitely have the Genghis Khan thing going on. Like,
John Wayne is Genghis Khan.
You are a fair maiden, and I shall wed thee.
Wow.
We must go attack the heathen Carthaginians. I look a little Asian, but growing up, I got a lot of Mark Wahlberg. Then as I got older, I got Donnie. And now I get the brother who owns the hamburger stands.
Jimbo.
Jimbo.
That's my guy.
I never met him.
Jimmy's great.
I kind of look like him now as I got older. I've gone through the brothers.
When you've been to improv classes and comedy classes. I mean,
when you first start out in Chicago, the way it kind of works is you sign up I was like 17 or 18. You signed for classes at either Second City or Improv Olympic or the Annoyance Theater. Those are kind of the big three in Chicago. And if you're any good, after a little while, some of them will start to hire you or let you perform at their theater. So they kind of start weeding people out who are not super, just it's not their thing. And then it's like stand up, but you don't get paid. Really, at least you didn't get paid back when I did it. You would just do shows for the theater, and they would give you like a couple beers after the show. But it's all about SNL. At least it was when I was there. Like everyone is doing this shit. You're performing for free. You're logging hours. You're getting experience. You're learning how to die on stage. You're learning how to own a room. So when SNL comes, you can audition for SNL and be on SNL. That was everyone's goal. And yeah. Like very few people get it.
I never had to learn how to die on stage. I did all right with it myself. That's a weird thing.
How old were you when you started stand-up?
16.
Well, they don't teach you how to die on stage. That's just doing shows.
Yeah.
Like that's just doing shows. Like I was doing probably 7, 8 improv shows a week by the time I left Chicago to go to Amsterdam. And a lot of those, even I think Bill Murray said one time, like even the best improvisers are batting like 500. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna have scenes that are not great, and
well, I kind of leading you down the wrong way because I don't think you can teach comedy.
You cannot teach people to be funny.
Right.
I think you can teach people how to.
That's what I'm asking. I guess.
Tackle components of it. Like there's stand-up classes which will tell you like, here's how you write a joke. Here's how here's a little trick I learned. But at the end of the day. Whether it's improv or stand-up, if you're not funny, it doesn't matter.
Would you agree that the best teacher is repetition?
Of course.
You look like a guy, Joe, that probably took a comedy class or 5.
Took 1. D.F. Sweedler's Comic Strip Live.
And what did you learn there?
Not much. It's, like things like, jokes come in 3s. So like, do the one and then tag it and then tag it.
It's a callback.
Yeah, a callback. And then, but it was mostly just like, hey, come bring a minute this week and then we'll talk about it.
A minute?
And then next week, bring 2 minutes.
You guys are so good with your time. Thanks for letting me have a minute after I paid you $400. What a fucking joke.
But after 8 weeks, you have 5 minutes and then it's like, hey, go do a show.
Right.
Okay.
And if the improv classes in Chicago, it's more about like teaching the different kind of forms and variations.
Well, I don't know what that means.
So there's 2 kinds of improv, right? There's Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is short form, which is all kind of like games, which is like we're gonna do a scene, and whenever I clap my hands, you're gonna do change genre. So you're gonna do like a Western, then you're gonna do like a sci-fi, right? That's one bucket. The other bucket, the Chicago style's long form improv, where it's a couple people, 7 people, 2 people, you get on stage and you take a suggestion from the crowd. And there's different kind of forms you could do. One is like the UCB, they have a show called ASCAT. In Chicago, it was called Armando, where you have a host. Like let's say Jay Mohr is our host tonight. Jay will come out with a bunch of actors around him. He'll take a suggestion. Suggestion is the apple pan. You'll kind of do like just a little monologue about whatever that means to you. Maybe it's about a time you were at the apple pan. Maybe it's how you picked apples when you were a kid. And then you'll talk for a few minutes, and then the improvisers will come out and do scenes, right? Like anywhere from like a 3 to 4 to 5 minute scene that is kind of inspired by what you said. So that's one form. But there's like 7 or 8 different forms. So they kind of teach you these baselines so you can do them. But it's all about getting you comfortable on stage, I think, and learning how to do them. And then it's all repetition. It's all how many shows are you doing? How are you progressing? Does it work?
It seems like they're teaching you to have balls.
Yeah.
Like when I got a little nervous feeling in my stomach when it was like, okay, then you guys come out and like, I'm all right with the monologue part.
Yeah.
But playing with another person where the variable is how we are going to do. Like when you're drowning, a group hug's a terrible idea, right? If I'm drowning on my own, I can get out of it.
Every time I've asked a stand-up friend of mine to come and do a monologue, I asked Sarah not too long ago, and I think like they all want to do it.
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin, just to be clear. She's still my governor. They just, I think stand-up, you have a natural inclination of like, I'm on my own, I got it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to throw in all these variables. Improvisers come from the opposite. They're like, hey, even if I'm having a fucking shitty night, these guys are going to kind of the group mind is going to kind of make sure that the show is good for the audience. So it is this totally different mindset. But the stand-ups, whenever they come, they always have the best time because they get to do stand-up and then they get to watch funny improvisers. This is also predicated on funny improvisers. You don't want bad improvisers because that's
what really helped me in your explanation, and I'm being serious, is how you moved your hands around when you. I'm being serious because it's almost like you were working a control board in a studio. Basically. And I like it made me get the vibe of we are and the little that guy says corner, a little more here and this and less here.
I'm also I use my hands like an Italian.
Yeah, but you use them appropriately. That's a bit I tried to do that never worked. Is like when you see somebody speaking with their hands, but it doesn't match. But then so all right, you're an improviser. The task is to say something where the hand doesn't match.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible to do. I've been working on this for.
So you're basically like, I'm so sick of Donald Trump and kind of the way he just always is. This is just me spitballing. The way he's always just he's taking control of the country.
But that makes sense to me because you're typing it on like an email.
I was playing the keyboard.
It's hard to do.
It's a hard bit. That's a very hard bit because your brain wants to.
It's like saying yes and nodding your head no.
Yeah, very hard.
You do it at first. It's hard.
It's very hard. Yeah.
So Amy Poehler does ASCAT, right? Or did?
Oh yeah. Well, she created UCB. Her and these three guys they were from Chicago and then they splintered off and created UCB in New York in like the late mid 90s, and that turned into a whole thing. They have one out here, and the improv scene really exploded around that time. And there was, Tina Fey was doing a lot.
Yeah, why do you think it was so big in Chicago and not so big in other metropolises like LA and New York?
That's a really good question. I think Second City was a Chicago institution since 1960, and I think that's a big part of it. That was like our Carolines or our big theater. That if you came to Chicago, we have this. Other cities don't really have this. So I think kind of from there. And then this guy, there's a famous improv guy named Del Close who died
my next question.
Del. He was connected to SNL for a long time, and he and this lady named Sharna opened the Improv Olympic in the early 90s. So it just kind of became this kind of mecca for improv. And then it did. UCB blew up New York. UCB New York was very big in the early 2000s, I think.
So I was watching the documentary about Del Close.
Yeah.
And the more he was spoken, obviously he's spoken incredibly reverentially.
Sure.
But the more anybody tried to explain the process, I felt like I was at my first AA meeting, these people are fucking bananas. And I'm all about the Jeffrey. You have to make the Jeffrey.
The Herald.
The Herald.
The Herald, yeah. That was the form.
Jeffrey was from the Get Him to the Greek.
That's the Jeffrey.
The Jeffrey, sorry.
Stroke the furry wall. I got him towards the end. I had him for a few years towards the end, and he was really crazy. He was
Is he the one that had his address on his ceiling, so when he woke up he knew where he was?
That checks out. Yeah. And he was addicted to junk for 50 years. That's a long time. And he, like I said, he was pretty old towards the end, but there would always be a kernel of genius in there. He said to me one time, I'll never forget this. I was doing an improv scene and I was playing it's a dumb sorority, oh my God, I was playing a girl, you know what I mean? A dumb sorority girl. And it got a huge laugh from the audience. And after the show, he came in and was giving everyone notes, and he turns to me and goes, "That was so adorable when you did that. Were you proud of that? Did you think it was adorable?" And I was
you.
Yeah, fuck you. But it also was because he was all about finding the truth and the reality in it, but still being funny, which is very hard to do. But it still kind of clobbered me that night. I know.
Here's my moment like that. When I did SNL, when I did Christopher Walken for Skittles,
it
had everything going against it. The host wasn't in it. There was no women in it. And I was in it. So it's 3 strikes. So it times out to, in dress rehearsal, it times out to 50 seconds. 53 seconds.
Quick hit.
But when we do it live, it's getting laughs in weird places, and I'm holding for those laughs.
Yeah, it's walking. You got to.
So passion fruit, the flavors, Skittles, and then I go to say something, and they would laugh, so I would stop and go, yeah, and it kills, but a weird kill, what is this kill?
Right.
And then the music kicks in. They're going to commercial, and I'm walking back under the bleachers, and I'm like, okay, it's year 2. This is it. I've arrived. Last week I did Good Morning Brooklyn, and then the week before that they had me do Harvey Keitel. Like, he's finally seeing what I can do. And then Lorne comes out from under the bleachers. He's holding an Amstel Light, and I walk to him. I got a big shit-eating grin. And he goes, "That was a fucking minute 30." I'm like, meow. So I was like, this place may not be for me. Because I need a lot of carrot. I'm not a stick guy.
Right.
And like when I wrestle, the coach tells me like, "What's wrong with you?" It's like, bro, I don't know. I don't like this. And what's wrong with me is this is hard.
Yeah.
But if you give me an attaboy, you're going to get a lot of reps out of me.
Positive reinforcement.
Reward-based learning, not fear-based learning.
Yeah, I'm a big, I like the carrot. I'm the donkey with the carrot dangling. I'll just keep walking. I'm your guy. I take that into coaching when I coach. Like, I love catching guys doing something right.
Yeah.
I hate disciplining my own kid. Like, I get really, he's kind of like our higher power in the house. Like, we gave the volcano our offering and it spit it back.
Do you coach him in sports?
No.
I coach my daughter in sports. It can be tough. I would she's 11, and when you coach like
girl sports.
By the way, this is brought to you by Running Point, which is on Netflix right now. Which is
nice
woman.
Wave
It's about
but
a
I
woman.
got to get some raccoons gear.
Dude,
the G League team is called the Raccoons.
I know. I watched. It's fantastic.
It's a good show.
It's great.
What does your daughter play?
She plays basketball.
Soccer with hands.
Soccer with hands. She plays girls basketball. But it's tough. Like when they're 8, 9, coaching them is great. When they're like 11, 12, you're like you don't want.
I know, Dad. I heard you.
Yeah, Dad, stop. And you're like, okay, fucking sorry for being alive.
I could coach my son at wrestling. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because that was what we asked Greg Fitzsimmons. And I'll ask you, what could you teach somebody with 100% certainty that they'd get great at it?
Making chicken cutlets.
Are you fucking for
wow
real right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah. I make like the best chicken cutlet you've ever had. It would put any like Jersey deli to shame. It's like
My
that's
mouth's
fucking
watering.
Go.
It's the best.
My
I'll
mouth's-
make them for you.
My mouth's
Italian
fucking
breadcrumbs?
watering right now.
What's that?
Italian breadcrumbs?
You just take like really good olive oil crackers and blend them up, but you got to season them. You got to
This guy's
put in the
making his own
Sicilian
breadcrumbs.
oregano
Jesus
and the
Christ.
garlic powder and stuff. Put in a little bit of panko breadcrumbs too for the dryness and the crack. But like, and you fry it in extra virgin olive oil. They're perfect. They're fucking
Did you
perfect.
say crack?
Yeah, they're like crack.
You had me. Just
Cutlets are Italian crack.
Wow, that's a good. What could you teach somebody with 100% certainty?
Parallel park.
Oh yeah.
I'm a G, but
I'm
I don't
real
know.
good.
People freak out.
I know, but I think I give you five tips and you're in, and then it's repeatable.
The hardest I've ever made my wife laugh. We're going out to dinner, and we're on like Centinela, and there's a parallel parking space, and she pulls up alongside it, and I go, "Yeah, right." She just exploded laughing because I was right.
Good luck with that.
She's such a hesitant turtle. I just go, "Yeah, right."
Dude, I had the
Turn
world's
down the radio. That'll help.
growing up in Chicago, you learn how to parallel park. Like
Yeah.
it's a big deal there.
I love defying the odds.
And now they got cars now that
but if
have
somebody's watching me, I don't like that.
I don't mind. And I got a big ass Lincoln too, and I'll pull that thing in a tight little space. I don't care. I don't like the new computer will do it for you.
I don't want it.
Get the fuck out of here.
My friends make fun of me because when I back up, I do the full
The old school turn,
turnaround.
yeah.
And even though the screen's right in front of you, I'm like, yeah,
No, I still do that too.
I'm getting used to the screen though.
Yeah.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, your highest rated movie, 90. Don't answer yet. 92%. Your lowest rated movie, 1%.
Oh, I'm in a movie.
So I'd like you to name.
Oh, I know the 1%.
Guess the 92% and the 1%.
Well, I'll do the 1% first.
First of all, I've never heard of 1%.
The 1% has to be disaster movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
aptly named.
It was a movie that, and God bless those guys who wrote and directed it. Lovely Boys. Then they were like, remember in like the 2000s?
It's a good band name, Lovely Boys.
We are the Lovely Boys. Remember in like the 2000s, like there was a lot of derivatives of Scary Movie. There was a lot of spoofs. So it was one of those.
No, I remember it. I don't.
It's
If I
wild.
saw it, I don't. I think I've seen parts of it on TV, but I don't. Like 1%.
It got destroyed. What happened is they made a movie that was a parody of the 300 called Meet the Spartans that like actually did well at the box office and was not great, but I think people were not. It wasn't like offensive. But then they made Disaster Movie, and just people were like, everyone involved in this movie needs to be thrown into a fire pit.
Look up Pluto Nash on Rotten Tomatoes, because if anything was going to be 1%,
I mean,
Pluto Nash was like bad.
So it just don't work sometimes, and like I don't. Yeah,
he's a bounty hunter on the moon.
He's a bounty hunter on the moon.
Randy Quaid plays a robot, and he never left character. So in between setups, you're just sitting at a table with him, and he's like, meep, meep, meep. And like he graduated to like tinfoil hat stuff. Like he's bonkers.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like he stayed in that character for the last 30 years.
Yeah. And it was so, you're sitting next to Randy Quaid, and it's like, so how was the traffic coming to set?
That's like whenever I hear about Daniel Day-Lewis, who's the best, but he's always in character. And someone told me that the movie Lincoln, right? He gets into like he's walking to set with the guy who played Grant. Is a great actor, Jared Harris, right? Richard Harris's son. And like, even though DDL didn't break character, he would still talk about like modern stuff. But like one day he turns to Jared Harris and goes, "I thought you were extraordinary in this week's Mad Men." Just as Abe Lincoln talking about modern shit.
So I shot him.
I shot him in the head.
The Adventures of Pluto Nash, 6% with the critics,
please,
20% with the audience.
So Disaster Movie's worse than Pluto Nash. It seems,
according to the people. Yeah. Let's bring up a clip. But like, God bless those guys. I got to tell you, like, they put me in those movies when no one else would cast me in anything. And they paid for my wife's engagement ring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew that one though. Because
I want to thank Side Splitters in Tampa for paying for my wife's. I was on the road like an animal paying for that day. And I had to pay for hair the same year.
Oh, Jesus.
And if I had to choose one or the other, hair
is pretty important.
Look at this.
It looks fantastic. Did you go to Turkey or was that local?
Let me tell you something. No, I went to Beverly Hills. I don't want to sit on a plane for 10 hours with a bleeding head.
With a bunch of dudes with bleeding heads.
Yeah, like that's not how I get down.
Because you look up and you're like, ah, damn it.
I'm a JetBlue first class. Who's the hottie across the way? And I think that guy's on a show or something over there.
Yeah, you also just don't want like someone to be like, oh my God, I saw Jay Mohr on a plane. Oh yeah, what is he doing? Oh, he's like reapplying his sutures to his scalp. You're like, oh shit.
See, that's I'm way ahead of the game on that. Anything like that, I immediately do it in my stand-up.
Oh yeah, you've inoculated yourself because you can go out and talk about it. That
anything like if I ran for office and they go, yeah, we heard you were in an adult bookstore with some. I go, bro, everybody knows that.
Yeah, done
like
bits
about
that.
Talk about the issues here.
Yeah.
1% was Disaster Movie.
Got it.
What'd you get paid for that?
Oh God,
can I guess?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I guess.
50.
Yeah, I think like probably between 40 and 50. Which
4 days you worked?
Probably 4 to 5 total down in. Oh man, I think for that one we were in. You ever shot in Shreveport?
No.
That's a rough city, man. Yeah, it was definitely Shreveport because there's like one hotel where everyone stays at if you're shooting a movie there.
Party.
And I remember, I remember fucking. They beat up Josh Brolin and Jeffrey Wright. They were making the Bush movie W. They were shooting that down there, and like a guy a cop I think walked up to Jeffrey Wright and started shoving him, and Josh Brolin's like, "What are you doing? This man is playing Colin Powell," and they beat the shit out of them. They pepper sprayed him and stuff. I remember.
Yeah, Josh Brolin didn't seem like a guy you could beat up.
He is small but powerful, my friend.
Did you read his book?
No, I want to read it. I'm obsessed with him. I think he's such a great actor, man.
Pretty good.
I love him.
He wrote something about his mom that's worth. You're gonna love this.
Him in No Country for Old Men is like a top 5 film performance of all time.
This is about his mom,
and also Goonies. I mean, they're the 1-2 punch right there.
Yeah.
Goonies and
he wrote about his mom. She was armored with a character so unique and memorable that to die would be an insult to her mythology.
Oh, he's like a real smarty pants too, man. He's like a poet.
Is he
and stuff.
really? Fucking smart guy winning Oscars. Like I give a shit. Big shot. Fucking dad's on Dynasty. Like, I give a shit. What was your 92% movie?
Oh, God, I don't know. Let me think.
Give me another question while he's thinking. Quick. Right here.
What's that? Oh, another Jeopardy question. You
While
got
he's
it.
thinking about it.
Names in operas. He was the barber.
Pass. Come on. Fucking Toscani, by the way.
The Barber of Seville.
Yeah.
Shut up, Ike. Punch her right in your face.
Words about words. You want to do one more?
Yeah.
Words about words. From the Greek word for a good speech, it's a mild word substituted for an unpleasant or offensive one.
I mean, I have to think that Greek for speech is orata, like oration.
What is euphemism?
Euphemism. Oh, okay.
You turn out to be a real jerk, Joe.
All right, here's an easy one. European instruments. The Highland version of this instrument has a blowpipe, a chanter.
Like, what is a bagpipe?
Correct.
What's your 92?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Celebrity Jeopardy. Not things that only I know for 1,000, Alec.
I don't know. What is the 92? I don't know.
It was Mad Men Only, the Del Close movie.
Oh, yeah. Great. There we go. Boom. Thank you, Del.
Why are you yelling at me?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You smoked weed with Norman Lear and Woody Harrelson?
I did, yeah.
Norman Lear was how old?
98.
98, and he's hitting the
fucking
ganja
joint. Yeah, we did. They did a.
He's been on the podcast.
All in the Family. They rebooted, like, we did a one night only live taping of All in the Family. It's like 4 or 5 years ago, and I just wanted to meet. Like, I met Norman once, but I just wanted to, like, talk to him for a few minutes.
He's like a Dalai Lama. Like, there's a stillness in him that I've seen it in mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you see a giant mountain, that stillness you feel from the other thing.
Did you follow him on Instagram? Because he had a really blessed Instagram.
No, he blocked me.
He just would have coffee in the morning and a little bit of breakfast.
I told him JJ was an Uncle Tom. He blocked me.
God, there was a guy who showed up when we did Good Times, and like while we were taping, it's like, I fucking wrote this fucking show, blah blah blah. Norman Lear fucked me out of this, and like they like dragged him out of there.
I wrote the show. I'm Paul Mooney. Everybody knows I wrote this show.
Is Paul Mooney still? No, he passed.
Yeah.
But anyways, Norman
smoking weed.
Yeah, we smoked weed. He fucking, and Woody Harrelson too. Can you believe it?
Whose weed was it?
Jimmy Kimmel's, and he's got strong.
Man, that weed game's no joke these days.
It's so different than what it was like in the 90s.
At the dispensary when I was smoking, I was like, I couldn't really get high enough, but that also might speak to my drug addiction.
Yeah, that's
like,
more
you got
of a
any
user
40%?
issue.
They're like, no, we got to kind of top out at 25.
Oh yeah, now they like take weed that they like dip in keef and then roll in dust and then just like
the caviar
dip in
weed,
cocaine one more time, and it's
right.
hardcore.
As Dennis Miller says, it's Neapolitan North Slope trip weed, the kind that guys on Amtrak smoke. Your left leg has just excused itself from the room. And the guy puts the skull bong down and says, Lee was very bad, man. He could rip out your heart and show it to you before you die. Wow, that stands out on a resume, huh? How do I know the color I see is blue? Is the same color you see. Check the fucking crayon box, pal. I'm high. God damn, I love Dennis Miller. The craziest weed seems to be like about 10 years before the cards came out. The medicine cards, like early 90s weed, it was a fucking roll of the dice, dude.
Yeah, I mean, in Chicago, we had dog shit. We called it Indiana ditch weed. It was like brown.
See, I like that.
But you got to smoke like 3 joints to like
can of Coca-Cola empty, put my pinholes in it. That was my every
sucking in aluminum straight to your lungs.
What do I care?
Or making an apple bong. You ever done an apple? Take an
I never
apple
did an
and
apple
carve
bong.
a little thing in there.
I just would go to a store and buy a pipe, or empty a cigarette out and put the weed. With
Yeah,
it.
I would do that. Yeah. But the weed now is just, it's so weaponized and it just knocks you out. But
I went to an Angels game with Dave Chappelle and a couple other people, and he got weed from the rapper Yo-Yo.
Okay.
The female rapper Yo-Yo.
All right.
And I took one, I was in Dave Rath's car, comedy manager. Mm-hmm. I took one hit of this weed.
Yeah.
And I was panicking. It was like mid-second inning. I had to shit constantly. And this kid comes up from a seat like 10 rows in front of us and goes, "Are you Jay Mohr?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I don't know.
And I go, "Who are you here with?" He's like, my mom. I'm like, is she a nurse by any chance? Like, just, and he's like, no. I'm like, all right, okay, I'm good.
I'm joking. I'm a comedian. You know that. Yeah, you gotta work through that paranoia.
You remember? I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
You do acid ever?
You know what? I used to, and then I hadn't in a while, and then I went to go see The Dead at the Sphere. And people have now acid. Like the drug game, I don't do a lot of drugs anymore, you know? 3 kids. But the acid now comes in like a little tiny little spray bottle that's packaged and stuff, and you take like 3 to 5 hits of it, sprays.
Banaka acid?
It's like Banaka acid, and you just dance for like, 2 hours, and then you're done. It's not like the old days where you take a tab, and then for like 16 hours you go to the darkness journey center of the earth and shit. It's much more manageable now. They've just isolated it so
the hangover's not as bad.
No hangover.
I remember doing acid, waking up the next day like, who fucking stabbed me in the stomach?
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Like, what's happening to my body? And like the weird things you get obsessed with, like, I need to go to the store and get an apple juice.
Yeah, orange juice. Yeah, I need
the
orange
apple juice in that little bottle.
The
shaped
Martinelli's
like an apple, like that. Do you? And then like going to 3 different stores. Like, no, this is what's gonna make me right.
And the mushrooms now too. Like mushrooms back in the day, if you wanted mushrooms, you were like, okay, I have these mushrooms that were growing on cow shit. I'm going to have to put them on a burger or peanut butter. Pizza.
Yeah.
You always want to throw up, and then now they're just like little square chocolates that taste delicious, and they just make you feel great for 4 hours, and then you wake up and you feel wonderful.
I was this is gonna make you laugh. When I was really high on speed, I was a life coach. I was great. I was great at it.
I tore through that advice.
I was great at it. And this one guy came. I was in Malibu on the water, and this guy comes over with a bag of mushrooms. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm really into microdosing. I put him in this grinder. I microdose. You should do it with me." I go, "Yeah, you know what's better than microdosing? Macrodosing." So I macrodose, and then we go out. My landlord comes down, Carl, who's been on here, and then Jeannie was renting a house. We were on Dog Beach by Duke's, and on the other side of Duke's is Carbon Beach. She was renting a house by chance on Carbon Beach. We were dating.
Okay.
So I'm tripping my fucking eyes out on a paddleboard.
Dude.
And then I had one question. I go, "Hey, Carl." He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Did you see that dolphin?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay." Because they sound like horses when they come up behind you. They go,
yeah. It's wild. Yeah.
They sound
crazy.
just like, you're like, "Is there a carriage horse next to me?" And you look and you're like, "Was that a horse?" Or like, he goes, "Yeah, I saw it." I go, "Okay." And we pull up, we land on the beach on our paddle boards. We walk in, they fed us. I felt like Cortez the Killer, like just talking to them, made love to the women and fucking bounced. That was my last. And I'm like, I should be done with mushrooms. That's it.
That's as good as it's
I was
gonna get.
on the sea.
You were on the sea.
And Carl goes, we were going over the kelp beds. He goes, "Bro, we're on top of the." He's not on mushrooms. He goes, "We're on top of the canopy."
Oh, he was sobes during it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He goes, "We're on top of the canopy, man." And I look down, it's just like this kelp bed. And I'm like, wow. And I'm picturing like the rainforest, like if I was on a paddleboard above the trees. I'm like, yeah, we're above the. And then you're like, oh, I almost fell down.
Well, I'm glad if you have a sobe guy with you, because when it's 2 people on mushrooms, you're like, and then we fucking saw the dolphin, and then we were underwater. And in reality, if you're watching it, it's just the 2 of you sitting out there talking.
If you're going to do mushrooms or acid, Carl is the guy
He's
you want.
the guy.
He is the guy. And he's a waterman.
That's really good. You need someone like that.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you dropped a Cortez the Killer reference, but couldn't get a single fucking Jeopardy.
How about if you look up Hernan Cortez in Wikipedia, occupation, conquistador.
He was a conquistador.
That was his occupation.
He was a real sick guy. He was a real weirdo.
It doesn't make him a bad person. I mean, look, you look at all the murders and the rape and the enslavement,
yes,
and then you play Cortez the Killer live by Neil Young, and you go,
he did what he had to do.
Leave the guy alone.
I think he's been canceled enough. Cortez, you're canceled.
Well, I'm going to start a high school just to name him the Conquistador.
Conquistador is a badass
If you can spell
name.
Conquistador, I do not want you on this team. Read between. How was your audition for Mad TV?
Oh, it was fucking so hard. Like, it was the same basic premise as the SNL audition. You got to come in and do a couple impressions. You got to do a couple characters. the characters was the one that I was like not great at. Like I'm not that kind of performer where I'm like I disappear and like I'm not like a groundling where they just do characters where you're like that's so funny.
I'm a Boston toll booth collector.
Yeah, mine are all like I'm your principal, just yelling. Guys are yelling, and then I did like little Nick Nolte, and
that's what you did when I was on it.
Yeah, Nick Nolte. Oh my God, you remember that? He was the first celebrity who was nice to me. By the way, we did. Do you remember the sketch?
Was no. Aries talked about it and I forgot it. I knew I did Chris Penn at halftime.
You did Chris Penn. You did Chris Penn.
Let's lay some pens on somebody out there.
Stop pointing that gun at my fucking dad. But Jay was the first celebrity. It was one of my first episodes of Mad TV, and Jay was like, "Oh, you're funny, you're funny." And he gave me his number and was like, "Hey, call me. Come to the house. We're gonna hang out, watch a game or something." I was like, "Wow." Like fucking celebrity just gave me his number. And I texted him, never heard back. But the fact that he gave me the number,
got a new number. I'll give it to you.
Please. But you were the first celebrity who was nice to me.
What was the sketch we did?
I think it was like, I want to say it was like the Seven Dwarves. It was some...
No.
Oh no! It was a buddy cop movie.
Yeah,
The buddy cop movie.
That's it.
That's
as
what it
soon
was.
as the Seven Dwarfs, I'm like,
no, that wasn't it. Yeah. It was the ultimate buddy cop. It was like
dwarfs.
Well, I knew it was a litany of guys. So it was like we had one guy who was like playing Chris Tucker, maybe Aries.
Yeah, it was Aries.
And then Nick Nolte, and then Chris Penn.
I wasn't Keitel?
I think you were Chris Penn.
Okay. I remember dressing as a cop.
Yeah, but I remember you were Chris Penn in a sketch because you were wearing what he was wearing in Reservoir Dogs. You were wearing like a blue tracksuit.
And then you guys used me. That's pretty good engineering. Like, no, stay in that costume.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go over to this stage.
Pop off another one.
Yeah.
That's Mad TV for you right there.
Yeah,
2
you guys
for 1.
were very efficient.
Very crafty. We had to be.
Who was like your partner in crime at Mad TV?
I mean, Josh Myers, who's Seth's brother, we kind of got hired together. But, I love working with Jordan Peele. He's one of my favorite. I think he's one of the most underrated sketch actors of all time. Keegan, Nicole Parker, Mike McDonald was still there when I was there. We had a great cast. Mo Collins. Everyone was like cool and fun.
Who was like in charge? Like not, you know what I mean? Like not like no credit, but like we know who's running this.
I mean,
Nicole, right?
Well, Nicole was gone. She kind of got me hired on that show because Sasso had left, and so I had to replace Will Sasso, which is very impossible. He's like one of the funniest guys ever. I think Mike
Jesse Ventura.
One thing you will learn is that Area 51 is actually Area 54. He is. I would say Mike McDonald kind of was the guy at seniority and kind of ran it.
He was on for a long time.
He was on there for a very long time. But it was such a fun time. Like mid 2000s, being on a sketch show.
Keegan was on Gary I'm Married too.
Sure.
As like my buddy.
Your buddy,
he's just like human pot. He's just like a happy guy.
Never stops.
Yeah.
Just aggressively friendly, wonderful.
But I know
guy.
his tell.
What?
If you tell a story, he kind of finishes the sentence for you like you told him already.
That's a good move.
It's a good move.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, you ever, I just saw this movie. It was, he goes,
Go do it. I'll be him.
I was out at Idlewild Airport. They sent me up in this P1 flyer from like World War II. And as I'm landing, the fucking wheels
don't open all the way. Yeah. I love that. I do that a lot too, though, to people where I'm just like, I know more than you do. I have a little bit of that, I think.
If you were a fighter, what would your walk-up music be?
That's a great question.
Hold on. I'm amazed. Every man on earth has thought this thousands of times. And every time you ask somebody, they either go like some goofy fucking sing-song children's song to be funny, or it's this reaction. I know you've thought of this before.
I mean, I always thought it was so cool that Mariano Rivera came out to Enter Sandman, so I want something in that vein, something like. But you know what I would do? I would do like
Ride the Lightning.
Carmina Burano.
What is that?
It's like an opera. It's like a big swelling opera that you see in like horror movie
actually,
trailers
one
and
of these
stuff.
questions on here.
No, it's not.
It's good.
But something like that,
You learned that in comedy class. Callbacks. How much was your comedy class?
I think it was like $400 for 8 weeks. It's like $50 a week. I
That's-
got it as,
that's-
I got it as a gift from a girlfriend. That's how I got into stand-up comedy.
That's
She
how
was like,
unfunny you were. She said, I will not date this guy anymore if he's this awful to be around.
But that's also not like that's not that bad. $50 a week. That's like
that's
they're not like grifting off of them. That's good.
If you could be single again, would you tell girls that you were dating or wanted to fool around with? Would you tell them you were an actor, like comedian? And what would your go-to?
I have to assume that they would know. No. God, first of all, thank God I'm not dating.
I know.
That it seems rough out there. I would tell them I'm a writer. I'd be like, I'm a writer.
He's so mysterious.
Yeah, and then they could be like, then one of their friends is like, actually, he's an actor. He was on the Mendy Project. And
Every
I'd be
guy
like,
listening to this, if you're single and a woman asks what you do, 2 words: massage therapist.
oh my dude,
Because they're immediately throwing those blades.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
yeah,
they dabble in it. It's Andrew Dice Gang. I'm in the steam room. He's got his cock out.
What am I gonna not suck it? Oh,
So I start sucking.
Andrew Dice Gang.
I'm like, let go of my ears. I know what I'm doing.
You got the age to him too
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Ike Barinholtz, #1 show on Netflix.
Come on now, go Waves. Look at that right
it's
there.
so good. It's such a good show.
It's because of your wife, man. She's the greatest.
She really is.
She really is the fucking greatest. I sat with her the other
Don't-
night. I'm
Don't
obsessed
tell a
with her.
fake Uber grifter to go fuck himself, or you'll have to fucking.
You were so mean to that man.
I should have just had her eat the crab legs. Can you imagine? She
That's-
never looked like a musket wound coming out. More stories. Put your name on it, people.
Jay Moore's my uncle.